Louisiana sweet potato growers are having one of their worst years ever. 2009 was supposed to be a recovery year for growers washed out by floodwaters from Hurricane Gustav last year. Now, rain has delayed sweet potato harvest by as much as 6 weeks. Since September, nearly 20 inches of rain has soaked sweet potato fields from Delhi to Ville Platte. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's A.J. Sabine shows us, producers are worried too much rain could kill their chances for cash flow.
Sticky soil covers new sweet potatoes on Ken Thornhill's farm near Winsboro. 3 crews are working to get the crop out before the next rain shower rolls in. Rain has put Thornhill more than a month behind in what was supposed to be a recovery year for the sweet potato industry. Hurricane Gustav washed away last year's crop, and now this could be the second disastrous year in a row for Louisiana sweet potatoes.
It's very scary. It's looking like it might be a disaster developing, a second disaster in a row. And we're needing some weeks of good weather for harvest, and it doesn't appear that we're going to get them. The weather forecasts are for continued rain.
Harvesting conditions have been so wet of late that it's like harvesting these sweet potatoes out of Play-Doh. Now, Ken Thornhill says he's hoping for drier weather, but looking at the radar, doesn't look like he'll see it for any time soon.
In my case, it's not the size of the rain, but the frequency of the rain. When it's wet, it's wet. I don't care if you got a ½ an inch or 2 inches.
Sweet potato growers north of I-20 have seen nearly 20 inches of rain since mid-September. LSU sweet potato specialist Dr. Tara Smith says harvest is the worst time for producers to be wet.
Sweet potatoes begin to break down when soils stay saturated for longer than 3 days. And as I indicated, we've had prolonged saturated conditions across the state this year. We're even getting into some situations in the southern production region in Avoyelles, Acadia, St. Landry, and Evangeline parishes where those growers have received upwards of 10 inches of rain in the past couple of weeks.
Despite the wet conditions, packing is going well. However, Thornhill just wants to get through to 2010. Next year, the opening of the Conagra Lamb Weston sweet potato processing plant could inject some much-needed hope for an ailing sweet potato industry.
They would be a tremendous boost to this economy of this industry. Our big problem is surviving this season. I think once we get them there in place, we're going to have a lot of things start looking very positive.
And looking positive could be just enough. In Franklin Parish, I'm A.J. Sabine for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Now, officials with Conagra Lamb Weston say they expect the first phase of construction to be completed by the end of 2010. Ken Thornhill says he hopes new contracts with the company will help producers who are still cash strapped following hurricane losses from last year.